On grasslands and in dense forests, big cats have always been considered the pinnacle of hunting skill. Their muscular strength, explosive speed, and stealthy approach create tense confrontations. Not every encounter is the same, but each close approach carries a life or death risk. These are some of the most intense moments ever recorded, where instinct, calculation, and biological limits clash in silence before erupting. Impalas are gazelles with incredibly quick reflexes and impressive balance. An adult, weighing between 90 and 150 pounds, can reach nearly 50 miles per hour in short bursts and leap over 10 feet when changing direction. However, when moving in a herd, even a slight deviation in formation can create a dangerous gap. From nearly 30 feet above the ground, the leopard chooses a position where it's less likely to be detected by scent and increases its angle of descent using gravity. Its flexible spine and strong forelimbs help it generate precise thrust upon leaving the branch. When an impala lags half a beat behind the herd, the leap from above is decisive. The distance is shortened in an instant, giving the prey no time to adjust its course. The impala attempts to turn and accelerate, but the height advantage translates into initial acceleration for the predator. The confrontation ends quickly. Without the support of its pack, the leopard must accomplish everything alone. A single slip from that height could result in serious injury and prolonged starvation. A successful hunt doesn't come from superior strength, but from utilizing the terrain and the element of surprise. Leopards aren't the strongest animals on the savanna, but in the three-dimensional space of trees and the ground, they are the most effective users of height. Wildebeests are wildebeests weighing between 400 and 600 pounds. They don't sprint as quickly as smaller antelopes, but they are capable of maintaining a steady speed over long distances. During migration season, herds can travel over 500 miles per year, creating constant pressure on each individual. When in formation, synchronization is the most important defense. Cheetahs are the fastest land predators, capable of reaching 60 to 70 miles per hour within the first few seconds. They can't sustain that speed for long, so they must choose their target carefully. When a young wildebeest slightly separates from the herd, the cheetah accelerates almost instantly. The distance is closed in less than 10 seconds. The chase is intense. Wildebeests try to keep their axis straight and use their body weight to maintain momentum. But the cheetah closed in with long strides and rapid breathing. When the precise throw was delivered, its speed advantage had done its job. The hunt ended quickly. This wasn't a clash of pure strength, but a difference in the first few seconds. On the open grassland, explosive speed sometimes dictates everything before endurance has a chance to prove its worth. Capybaras are the world's largest rodents, weighing between 70 and 150 pounds. They live near swamps and rivers, relying on water as a natural escape route. When they sense danger, capybaras often dive into the water and swim with incredible stability. Their familiarity with the wet environment is their most important defense. Jaguars are top predators in South America, possessing a bite force that can exceed 1,500 psi and swimming abilities far superior to many other big cats. They don't engage in long chases across grasslands, but instead choose to wait near the water's edge. When a capybara ventures just a few feet from the water's edge to forage, the jaguar lunges forward with a short but precise acceleration. The moment of impact occurs right at the water's edge. The capybara tries to turn back to safety, but its distance advantage has already been reduced. Jaguars use their body weight and powerful jaws to control the situation before their prey can dive into the deep water. The hunt ends quickly. This isn't just about muscle strength, but about calculating the position between water and land. In nature, a boundary just a few steps away can sometimes determine the entire outcome. Wildebeests are wildebeests weighing between 400 and 600 pounds, potentially 3 to 4 times the weight of an adult leopard, which weighs around 130 pounds. With their heavy bodies and sharp, curved horns, they are not easy targets. Within the pack, size and coordination create a significant natural defense. The leopard doesn't confront them head-on. It approaches from the side, waiting for the moment the wildebeest slows down a beat. A powerful leap propels it onto the prey's back, gripping the neck and holding its position to avoid counterattacks from claws and horns. The struggle is short but intense, requiring absolute precision. The hunt ends when the wildebeest loses its balance and can no longer maintain its running axis. However, the leopard doesn't linger. It quickly drags its prey away from the open field, avoiding the hyena's attention. Success here doesn't lie in sheer strength, but in the ability to control the position and retreat at the right time. Hyenas are pack-hunting predators, weighing between 90 and 140 pounds, possessing strong teeth and formidable coordination. When in groups, they are confident enough to put pressure on many other predators. But when an individual separates from the pack and gets too close to an area with a male lion and its cubs, the advantage of numbers loses its meaning. In this confrontation, the hyena is the loser. A mature male lion, which can weigh nearly 400 pounds, approaches not to hunt. Its goal is to eliminate a direct competitor for food and living space. When the hyena recognizes the danger and tries to retreat, the lion accelerates over short distances, using its body weight and the strength of its front shoulders to overwhelm the pack. The events unfold in seconds. Without the support of its packmates, the hyena loses its defensive position and doesn't have time to create a safe distance. The encounter ended quickly, with the lion having a clear advantage. Lions do not use the carcasses of their opponents as an energy source. This behavior is aimed at protecting their territory and reducing competition around the breeding grounds. In nature, control of space is sometimes more important than the meal at hand. African wild dogs have the highest hunting success rate on the continent, often exceeding 70% in sustained chases. Each individual weighs between 40 and 70 pounds, relying more on group discipline and endurance than individual strength. When moving in packs, they control large spaces and take turns leading the pursuit. However, in a direct confrontation with a larger species, that structure is easily broken. A male lion appears near the wild dog pack's familiar hunting ground. This isn't a food hunt, but rather the protection of a long-term territory. When a wild dog slows down and lags behind, the lion takes advantage of the short distance to accelerate. The difference in mass and strength gives the dominant animal the upper hand. The encounter is quick. There isn't enough time for the wild dog pack to regroup and react. When the advantage of numbers doesn't have time to develop, the outcome is already decided. In this confrontation, the lions are the victors. Lions don't consume their rivals. This action aims to reduce future competitive pressure and maintain a stable hunting ground for their cubs. This is a form of long-term conflict between predators, where strategy takes precedence over immediate needs.
Stop now.
The African buffalo is one of the most dangerous hoofed animals on the savanna, weighing from 1,300 to over 2,200 pounds. With its thick hide, strong neck, and horns forming a hard shield in front, it can inflict serious injuries on predators. A mature buffalo is strong enough to take down a lion if given the opportunity to counterattack. However, in this confrontation, the injured buffalo is the loser. The lion doesn't choose its target randomly. It observes the herd and identifies the slow-moving, less stable individual. When the distance is close enough, the approach is decisive. Instead of a direct confrontation with the horns, the lion approaches from the side, taking advantage of the buffalo's momentary loss of balance to lock into a favorable position. The tense struggle lasts for several minutes. The buffalo tries to twist and use its body weight to push back, but the initial injury reduces its stamina. When breathing becomes labored and the pride can't return to provide support in time, the advantage shifts decisively to the predator. Hunting buffalo is always a gamble. The risk of injury is very high, so lions only act when the probability of success is high enough. In nature, choosing the right target is sometimes more important than strength.
Fighting. Stop now.
Through each confrontation, the big cat not only demonstrates its strength, but also reveals its own limitations. Every victory comes with risks, and every defeat is a reminder of the harsh realities of its survival environment. On the grasslands and in the jungles, Power is not absolute, but depends on the time and place. In the silence following each encounter, nature retains a simple rule. Only those who understand their limits will endure. On the African savannas, hyenas are not bystanders. They actively enter risky situations, maintain pressure, and constantly weigh every move. Hyenas survive not through superior strength, but through long-term strategy, pack discipline, and patience. This is how a species adjusts its pace of survival to the realities of the situation, rather than seeking quick results. Hyenas are a species that readily approaches and puts pressure on many larger animals, from antelopes, buffaloes, leopards, to even lions in certain circumstances. They don't shy away from risk, but proactively approach with clear calculations, step by step. The hyena's survival strategy doesn't rely on strength or speed. They aren't the strongest nor the fastest, but they possess the highest endurance. Their strategy focuses on maintaining long-term pressure rather than seeking quick results. Adult spotted hyenas can weigh up to 190 pounds, possessing very strong jaws suited to a diverse diet. They live in large packs, sometimes exceeding 80 individuals, organized into matriarchal societies led by females with high pack discipline and a system of communication through sound, scent, and body language. Thanks to this structure, hyenas coordinate effectively, knowing when to approach and when to keep their distance. They operate in packs, which can split into small groups or closely follow food sources for extended periods. Active both day and night, in open or dense environments, hyenas contribute to regulating animal populations and processing leftover food, thereby limiting the risk of disease outbreaks. Lions are the apex predators of the grasslands, possessing great strength and clear territorial control. A mature individual, especially a male lion, can deter many other species. However, lions also need to protect their food and living space from competitors. When hyenas confront lions, it's not a simple approach. Hyenas only exert pressure when the lion is alone, or when they have a numerical advantage. Sounds are heard, individuals move around the area, constantly testing the lion's reaction. If the lion is a healthy, mature individual, the hyena quickly maintains distance and stops. The outcome of these encounters depends on both sides' assessment of the situation. Hyenas may gain the advantage when conditions allow, but will retreat when the balance shifts. This is a long-standing antagonistic relationship, where neither side is willing to risk crossing its own safety limits. Rhinos are among the largest animals in Africa, weighing up to around 5,000 pounds and having skin nearly 2 inches thick. This size and body structure makes an adult almost unrivaled in nature. In rare approaches, hyenas don't target adult rhinos. Their strategy focuses solely on the rhino calves, once they are separated from their mother's protection. Pressure is maintained for extended periods, sometimes for hours, with a very low success rate, only about 10%. The outcome in most situations is that the hyenas voluntarily back down. This demonstrates the hyena's high level of patience and highlights the significant risks involved in confronting rhinos. Hyenas only attempt to fight when the opportunity is clear and retreat when conditions are no longer favorable. Wildebeest are herbivorous animals that migrate in large herds, notable for their speed, which can reach nearly 50 miles per hour, and their strong horns. When moving in large groups, they rely on speed and numbers to reduce risk. In a stable formation, each individual is always shielded by those around them. When faced with a herd of wildebeest, hyenas do not attempt a direct approach. They observe the moving formation, monitoring the pace of each individual. Their attention is focused on the young, the weak, or those lagging behind when the herd changes direction. Pressure is exerted from multiple directions, causing the formation to gradually lose cohesion. When chaos arises, hyenas move closer but maintain a safe distance. Their goal is not individual strength, but to undermine the wildebeest's group advantage. Breaking the formation causes an individual to be separated for a short time. The outcome of the approach depends on coordination and timing. If the antelope herd maintains its rhythm and formation, the hyena will stop. When an individual loses contact with the group, the advantage shifts to the hyena. This is a prime example of tactics based on organization and patience rather than lone strength. Leopards are solitary predators, relying primarily on silence and stealth. After securing their food, leopards often climb tall trees or move to secluded areas to avoid being disturbed. Their solitary lifestyle allows them to be agile, but also means a lack of support when facing prolonged pressure. When hyenas appear, they don't rush to approach directly. The hyena's advantage lies in their numbers and constant presence around the area. Their regular sounds and organized movements gradually narrow the leopard's safe space. The psychological pressure increases over time, forcing the leopard to constantly monitor multiple directions simultaneously. During this phase, the hyenas don't seek direct conflict. They patiently maintain their distance, waiting for their opponent to make a decision. As the risk continues to increase, the benefit of the food source is no longer enough for the leopard to maintain its position. In reality, about 50 to 60% of cases end with the leopard abandoning its food source. The hyenas achieve their objective without fighting. This is a victory based on sound, numbers, and patience, clearly demonstrating how hyenas control the situation through collective organization rather than individual strength. African buffaloes are large herbivores, known for their ferocity and strong herd spirit. A herd always moves in close-knit groups, ready to react collectively to any threat. This unity makes buffaloes particularly difficult opponents to approach. When facing a herd of buffalo, hyenas don't try to get close directly. Their strategy focuses on stalking from a distance, observing the rhythm of movement, and looking for weaknesses in the formation. Their target is often a buffalo calf, when the mother buffalo temporarily loses her protective rhythm while the herd changes direction or is disrupted. Pressure is maintained continuously, but cautiously. Hyenas try to split the formation, reducing the buffalo's ability to react collectively. However, most situations end with the hyenas being forced to stop due to the herd's tight coordination. The hyena's success rate in such approaches is only about 15%. This result clearly demonstrates the limitations of hyenas against a highly organized opponent. This wasn't a test of strength, but rather a trial of patient tactics and the solidarity of the pack. African wild dogs are pack hunters, notable for their precise coordination and high group discipline. Each individual maintains its position, creating an efficient movement system around the food source. This coordination helps wild dogs maintain an advantage in many situations. When hyenas appear, competition immediately forms. Hyenas use their numbers and jaw strength to exert pressure, while wild dogs maintain formation and react quickly. Both sides move around the food source, constantly assessing the risks. The outcome usually favors the side that is more persistent and numerous at that moment. If the hyenas maintain pressure, the wild dogs will leave. If the wild dog formation is not broken, the hyenas will stop. Hyenas don't seek absolute victory in every approach. They only act when conditions allow and retreat when the balance shifts. Patience, coordination, and situational assessment determine the outcome. In the natural world, knowing when to stop is also a form of survival.